This is Lookout Valley News, Spring 2013, with Ashley Allen, Ashley Walliser, Emily Frizzell, Brooke Mizell, Sean Kirk, Chase Clunch, Jamal Jones, and William Long.
Welcome to the Lookout Valley News with Ashley and Ashley. The World Health Organization announced the launch of an investigation into a new deadly virus of bird flu. The total number of infections in China became 87. It is currently an animal virus that rarely affects humans. On Thursday, the government suspended wild bird sales to try to prevent the spread of the virus. Nobody knows why the infection is spreading amongst humans, but in affected countries, bird and poultry are now being banned. Some people believe that eating the chicken and birds are no problem at all, as they've eaten it every day. Some, on the other hand, are afraid to even eat an egg, fearing that they'll catch the disease from the eggs. The authorities are even monitoring more than 1,000 people who have came into contact with people who have been infected. Studies, however, show that unlike previous outbreaks of the bird flu, the birds suspected to have it have shown no sign of being diseased, raising more questions.
A major fraud is sweeping the nation. Pilot Flying J's Jimmy Haslam, who is also the owner of the NFL's Cleveland Browns, is scamming customers. The staff was overheard talking about taking advantage of diesel customers. The FBI has began an investigation against the company, and several of its employees were suspended. The owner is fraught because their reputation has gone from best to worst in just 8 days. However, they are accepting responsibility for the whole ordeal. Haslam, the owner, has denied any wrongdoing on his part and has refused any suggestion of him stepping down as the company owner. The company is now trying its best to rebuild relations with its customers and other companies to get back on top. He last stated that he was meeting with one of the many company heads that were cheated and is attempting to rebuild their relations one step at a time.
Breaking news at Lookout Valley. A Bigfoot has been discovered in the woods. People speculate it could belong to a Bigfoot. 2 boys found the decomposing foot last month and handed it in to the police, who sent it off to be identified. Medical experts have since tested it, but say more examinations are needed to identify the foot. However, despite having 5 toes and resembling a large human foot, they have ruled out that possibility of it being Bigfoot's foot. Local police suggested it might be a bear's paw, but admitted it will take some time before we hear any official results. Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is the name given to a creature some people believe inhabit forests of North America.
Now to Emily for the Upton brothers.
The Braves have a 19-5 record so far this season. They have hit 25 home runs in only 14 games. Evan Gattis and Justin Upton are to be thanked for this. Justin Upton has hit 9 home runs so far this season, with many more to come. Evan Gattis homered his first major league at bat. His past careers, he was working as a janitor and ski lift operator before he got back to baseball. Back to the Ashleys.
And now to see some commercials.
Do you have problems with cameras? Do you have problems with iPhones? We all have problems with technology.
We all have problems with our cameras.
We're not perfect. We all drop our phones every once in a while.
But we have a solution for you.
He fixes cameras, he fixes iPods, he fixes iPads. He's a trained Apple technician, he's a teacher, he does it all. You ain't
Your very own Mr. Ford.
Hello, Connie? Hello, Pete? We went to Mr. Ford and our phone works perfectly! Hi, I went to Mr. Ford and my camera works perfectly.
And your very own Mr. Ford is so affordable. It's one payment of $49.99 or two low payments of $24.99.
Call now at 1-800-555-5555. Again, that is 1-800-555-5555.
And now to Pooh, Jamal, and Chase.
Thank you, ladies. Now we're going to talk about fall sports. Football. Do you guys think the team will be competitive next year?
I think the team's going to be pretty competitive, coming off a 5-5 year. Went to the first round playoffs. A lot of young players got some experience that they need for years to come. You got an 8th grade quarterback going to be a freshman next year. I expect big things out of him.
Yeah, and this season we had Jamal Jones signed with Carson Newman. He rushed over 1,000 yards, had a ton of touchdowns throughout the season, but I believe they had a lot of young players that got a lot of playing time this year that have helped them for the years to come. So I believe that they had a successful season this year for preparing for the next seasons to come. So they had a pretty successful season, and they're going to be great coming up. So
next, we're going to talk about volleyball. Was the season successful even though the team didn't make it far in the tournament?
Well, I believe it was very successful. We had great fan support throughout the season. Everybody loves the fire in the hole, cheers and everything. Yeah, they had some key wins, but they also had some key losses. But I believe it was a successful season because Ms. Connor got them really ready and they played hard throughout the season. So
yeah, and even though they struggled a little bit, that's not necessarily a bad thing for the years to come. The adversity that they face, it's gonna help them in the seasons to come.
Yeah.
Once they get down on themselves, they're gonna always learn that they'll look back at this year for motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Now on to winter sports, basketball. What was the biggest obstacle for the boys team to overcome?
Oh, the boys, we had to overcome scoring. But we lost our two leading scorers this summer. One transferred, one got hurt at the end of the season. Football. Donovan and Pooh helped us out a lot. We just couldn't score the ball, but we did all right for the time being.
And I believe even though with the two key losses that they faced at the beginning of the season, I feel like they could have still had a better season. One thing in basketball is you have to be together, and that's one thing that they missed. Chemistry, yeah. That's one thing that they missed throughout the season. But I believe that they still had a successful season. They made it to the district tournament. But I believe that for the years to come that they're still going to be pretty good because they have some young guys coming back, Bailey and Terry, so they're going to be pretty good in the years to come. So,
all right. And what about for the girls team? What was their biggest obstacle?
Well, they also had some key injuries at the beginning of the season. Brianna and towards the middle of the season, Haley McBee, but I feel like they played hard throughout the season. They gave it all every time they stepped their foot on the court, so they had a pretty successful season.
Yeah, they have a certain intensity about them. They have a scrappiness to them.
I like scrappy.
Yeah, they're very scrappy, and that's what caused them to win games. And if they apply that to seasons to come, I expect them to be very successful because they only had 2 seniors. They're very young.
They were really, really young, but they had a successful season. So
expect great things.
Yeah.
Now on to spring sports. First up, baseball. How do you feel the lack of seniority affected the team?
Well, they had two great seniors, Levi Wallace and Tony Summerall, that really helped the team and gave them leadership on the field and as well as off the field, and they gave it their all throughout the season. The season's still not over yet. We still have a couple of more games left, and I feel like they're gonna give a strong ending to the season. So
yeah, they're in a similar situation as football was in. A lot of just a couple seniors. Just not very experienced, and this experience will help the young players in the seasons to come. A lot of freshmen and 8th graders that never played before. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Next up, the track team. Did the competitors from Lookout Valley have an effect on the success of Red Bank's track?
Well, they had one of our from the freshman class, Alexis Foster. She's a great sprinter. She leads the city right now in the 100 meters, and she helps the Red Bank relay team in the 4x1 and different relays. And I feel that she's been a big part of their success. I mean, I expect big things out of her for the years to come. And just as a freshman, she's leading the city. That's amazing. So
yeah, expect big things for her.
Yeah.
For the boys, we're doing all right. We're hanging in there in the 4x1. We have the second best time in Chattanooga right now. Actually, 3 of the Lookout Valley sprinters are on the 4x1 relay team for Red Bank. So It's actually 3 to Red Banks 1 on the relay team. So we're helping them out a lot. Very beneficial that we teamed up with them.
Yeah.
And finally, tennis. How did the change in the coach affect the team?
Well, at first they had Miss Slatton as coach, and she had to lay off a year, and Coach Ward replaced her. So I believe that he did a great job throughout the season. That they're young, even though they're young, they still competed and they was competitive out there. So I believe they had a successful season. So
yeah, I think Bill did a great job coaching. They got a young kid named Austin Mays. You know, he's pretty good. You know, he's just a freshman playing against a lot of seniors. I expect great things for him to come. I seen him play. He got a lot of potential.
Yeah, that's one thing that all the Lookout Valley sports have in common is they're all young.
They're all young.
A couple of seniors, but they're all young. So I believe in the near future, you know, next year, even the year after, that they're going to be a powerhouse in Chattanooga. So
yeah, I expect that.
All right, finally, why don't you guys talk to me about the teachers and players basketball game?
Boy.
Well, I'm not going to say too much on it. I mean, it was a tie game, even though we should have won. I don't even know why it was a tie game.
Questionable calls.
Questionable calls. Miss Connor, if you're looking at this, you didn't call every foul.
Gosh.
You didn't call every foul.
Gosh,
but I mean, we played hard. You know, we could have pressed them. You know, I took it easy on them as the coach, and
as a student, I felt like the student body would help, but it felt like we were playing a role game, you know?
I was out there, as I was coaching, I noticed that some of the teachers were holding their bags, and they was walking up and down the court. I could hear one of the teachers breathing all the way down on the other side of the court. So, you know, I didn't want to push the tempo any for the teachers. You know, I took it easy on them. But I mean, it showed school spirit because a lot of students come to the game, man. And let me comment on this. Mr. Ford, he actually charged the students $2 to come to the game. Now that's a bit expensive,
it's a little high,
but you know he makes the calls and you know. But
overall, I give it an A+. It
was an A+, even though but the price was a bit.
It's a little pricey, Mr. Ford, but
yeah. But I just want to before we close this segment, I just want to give a shout out to all the sports teams. You did great this season, and I expect big things out of you guys for next season. Anything like to say?
Just that you're gonna do good next year. You just young, just hang in there. Got great potential.
Yeah, this is William Long,
Jamal Jones.
Thanks for your time, fellas. Now back to you in the studio.
Kate Hudson has been engaged since the spring of 2011, but she apparently is in no rush to get married. She says she has been too busy and her fiancé, Matthew Bellamy, agrees. They say that they'll figure it out. They apparently look forward to it, but it's been over 2 years. Kristen Chenoweth thinks that she has a belly even though she weighs 88 pounds. People think that she has issues with her body because she is tiny and definitely has no muffin top. The actress claims that in tight, skinny jeans, her muffin top shows. She said she would like to have a body like Nicole Kidman, who looks good in anything.
And that's all for the first edition of the Lookout Valley News. See you next year.